Have you ever wondered why older people, your parents, your grandparents, maybe even you, suddenly find themselves awake at 2 or 3 in the morning, staring into the darkness while the rest of the world sleeps peacefully? It's not just about aging or a random habit. It's deeper. There's a mystery behind this quiet awakening. A moment between sleep and consciousness where something sacred happens. This video will not only explain the biological reasons, but will also uncover the hidden emotional, spiritual, and even universal truths about why this happens. By the end of it, you'll not only understand the science, but you'll also start to see this strange pattern as a kind of blessing, a message from your body and soul. But before we go further, don't forget to subscribe to our channel Faith Wisdom. Here, we share timeless wisdom to guide your soul, inspire your heart, and give meaning to your life experiences. Join our family if you love finding deeper truth in everyday things. Now let's begin. Number 1. The biological clock doesn't work the same anymore. As we age, our internal body clock, also known as the circadian rhythm, starts to shift. This isn't just a minor change. It's like switching time zones without leaving your house. Older adults often go to bed earlier and wake up earlier than they used to. But the real mystery is that their sleep becomes fragmented. Why does this happen? Because of changes in brain chemistry. The pineal gland produces less melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep, so it's harder to stay asleep through the night. Additionally, deep sleep, also called slow-wave sleep, becomes shorter. Older people tend to spend more time in lighter stages of sleep, which makes them more vulnerable to waking up due to noises, temperature changes, or even just thoughts. But here's where it gets fascinating. This early awakening, at around 2 or 3 a.m., often isn't caused by discomfort or pain. It's as if their mind is alert at that hour, as if something is calling them. That's where wisdom enters the picture. The body may be weakening with age, but the spirit is whispering louder in the quiet hours. Number 2, the soul's alarm clock, a whisper from within. You might think waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. is a problem, something to fix with pills or routines. But what if it's something else? Something divine? Many spiritual traditions across the world, whether ancient Hindu sages, Tibetan monks, or mystics from the deserts, believe that the early hours between 2 and 4 a.m. are sacred. Known as the Brahma Muhurta in Eastern traditions, this is the time when the veil between the physical and spiritual world is thinnest. When elderly people wake up at this hour, perhaps it's not just their body reacting to age. Perhaps it's their soul responding to something higher. This is a time when the world is quiet, when the distractions of the day are gone, when the heart can speak and be heard. Many older individuals report waking up during this time feeling peaceful, not anxious. They may lie in bed thinking about their children, memories, regrets, dreams, and prayers. This moment is powerful because it's intimate. You're not just awake, you're connected to your past, to your faith, to your future. Don't ignore these moments. They may feel inconvenient, but they are sacred. They are an invitation to listen. Number 3, emotional echoes from a lifetime of memories. There's a reason why older people often carry deep wisdom. It's not just about experience, but reflection. And much of that reflection happens during those silent hours before dawn. At 2 or 3 a.m., there are no distractions. No phone calls, no errands, no appointments, just silence. And in that silence, emotions rise. Regret, gratitude, love, loss. Memories don't follow a schedule. They appear suddenly, an old photograph in the mind, a voice long gone, a feeling once buried. For someone around 60 years of age, This time of night can be like opening a hidden chest in the attic of the soul. These awakenings can be emotional, but they're not always painful. Sometimes they offer peace, a memory of a grandchild laughing, a partner smiling, or a moment of pride. But sometimes they remind the person of what they haven't finished. An apology never said, a dream never chased, a story never told. So, waking up at 2 a.m. may not be a sleep disorder. It may be your heart asking for your attention. It may be your story calling to be honored. Number 4, the unseen anxiety of aging. Aging is beautiful, but it also brings invisible burdens. Fear of loneliness, fear of illness, fear of becoming irrelevant, fear of death. These are not things we speak about every day, but they live inside us. And in the silence of the night, they grow louder. Even those who appear calm during the day may wrestle with questions in the early morning hours. Did I live my life well? What will happen to my loved ones when I'm gone? Will anyone remember me? What if something happens to me while I sleep? These questions can stir a person awake, even if there's no physical discomfort. And they're not signs of weakness. They're signs of awareness, of reaching a stage in life where mortality is no longer abstract. The 2 to 3 a.m. window becomes the hour of truth, a moment when masks fall away and the deepest fears, longings, and thoughts come out. Some may pray, some may cry, some may just lie still, but all of them are searching for meaning. Understanding this can shift your perspective. It's not insomnia. It's a moment of inner awakening, a time your soul is asking, what matters now? Number 5, a divine invitation to start again. What if this awakening isn't a disruption, but a new beginning? In ancient texts and spiritual teachings, 3 a.m. is often called the hour of God. It's believed that if the universe wants to communicate with you, this is the time it chooses. It's quiet. Your ego is asleep. The world isn't pulling you in a million directions. You're alone, but not lonely. You're awake, but not busy. This is the perfect moment for clarity. For many older adults, this time becomes their prayer hour. Not because they plan it that way, but because something draws them to it. They may not even fully understand why, but the stillness calls. If you're waking up at this time, don't fight it. Embrace it. Sit in silence. Listen. Pray. Breathe deeply. This might be your soul's way of healing. A chance to let go of burdens, to reconnect with God, to forgive yourself, to feel alive. This hour is not just about sleeplessness. It's about awareness. And trust me, the last section of this video is especially important for those who are 60 and above. It holds a message that could change how you view not only these early morning awakenings, but your entire journey moving forward. Stay with us. Number 6, the body's last effort to purify the mind. As we grow older, our body begins a natural process of slowing down, but the mind does something interesting. It begins a cleansing process. In youth, we're too busy chasing things: career, relationships, money, and dreams. There's no time to reflect. But when we get older, the mind begins to declutter. And this decluttering, this mental purification, often happens in the early hours, between 2 and 3 a.m. Why? Because at that time, the brain is not bombarded with information. There's no external noise, no distractions, just space. This is when your brain attempts to sort through years of unprocessed emotions, memories, guilt, love, and regrets. It's like your mind is finally catching up with your life. During these hours, the subconscious mind is wide awake. It processes thoughts and feelings that you may have pushed aside for decades. You might find yourself thinking of a moment from 30 years ago, a person you hurt, a moment you were proud of, or even a decision you wish you could change. These thoughts aren't accidents. They are part of your mental cleansing. The body may wake up physically, but what's truly happening is that your soul is entering a sacred space of reflection. This is when many older people think most clearly. They are not lost in confusion, but are actually in a profound moment of personal truth. If you're waking up at this time, understand it's your body cooperating with your mind. It's trying to lighten your emotional weight, purify your thoughts, and prepare you for the next season of your life with peace. Number 7, a silent hour that calls for gratitude. One of the most powerful practices anyone can do, especially as we age, is practicing gratitude. And what better time to do it than in the stillness of the early morning, when you're wide awake while the world sleeps. Most people see waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. as a problem, but very few realize it's a gift. At this hour, your thoughts are raw, real, and often unfiltered, and it's the perfect time to count your blessings, to thank life for what it gave, and even for what it took away. Gratitude at this hour becomes medicine for the soul. It changes how you see your past. It helps you forgive others, and most importantly, yourself. You realize that even the painful chapters of your life had purpose, that the losses taught you love, that the pain taught you strength, that the silence taught you the value of presence. When older people wake up during this sacred hour and think about their children, their youth, the people they've loved, or the lives they've touched, they are often overwhelmed with emotion. That emotion is the birth of gratitude, a realization that life, in all its flaws and imperfections, was still a miracle. So don't rush to fall back asleep. Sit in stillness and thank your body for carrying you. Thank your mind for remembering. Thank your heart for still beating. Thank your soul for still searching. This time isn't meant for frustration. It's meant for thanksgiving. Number 8, the universe aligns to deliver messages in silence. In ancient spiritual texts and mystical traditions, there is a recurring theme. Divine messages are whispered in silence, not shouted, not announced, but whispered when the world is quiet and your spirit is still. That's why 2 to 3 a.m. holds such significance. When elderly people wake up at that time, it may not just be random or biological. It might be spiritual alignment. The universe, or what many call God, chooses this time to speak because this is when you can truly listen. The day is too loud. The mind is too distracted. But in the silence of the early morning, everything aligns. Your mind is clearer. Your body is still. Your ego is resting. That's when divine messages arrive. Not always in words, but in feelings, images, or sudden insights. Many older people report experiencing profound thoughts during this hour. Some feel guided. Others receive clarity on problems. Some feel the urge to write, to pray, or simply cry. These aren't hallucinations. These are real spiritual experiences, available to anyone who learns to listen in the silence. If you find yourself awake at this time, don't grab your phone. Don't turn on the TV. Sit, breathe, be still. Ask, what am I being told? What does my soul need? What am I being guided toward? The universe doesn't make noise. It makes meaning. And often, the meanings are revealed to those who are quiet enough to hear them. Number 9, an invitation to return to yourself. We spend most of our lives becoming someone, successful, respected, accomplished. But in the final third of our life, we're invited to do something different. Return to who we were before the world told us who to be. Waking up in the early hours of the morning is a part of that invitation. It's as if the soul is saying, "Come back. Sit with me. Let's talk." At 60 or beyond, many people feel something pulling them inward, a longing for stillness, a desire to rediscover themselves, not the parent, not the professional, not the provider, but the person they were before the world demanded so much from them. These early morning awakenings are not interruptions. They are sacred appointments. The soul is calling you back to the center, to reflect on your truth, to release your burdens, to reconnect with your essence. This return is necessary. Without it, old age becomes bitter and full of regret. But with it, aging becomes beautiful, peaceful, enlightened. So next time you wake up at 2 a.m., don't resist. Embrace it. That's the hour where your real self waits for you, not to judge you, but to remind you, you were always enough. Number 10, the most important message for those around 60 years old. Now, if you are 60 or older, or approaching that beautiful age, please listen closely. This final section is for you, and it may be the most important part of this entire video. Waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. is not a sleep issue. It is a transition. It's your soul preparing you. It's not about death, but about completion, about harmony. It's your inner world asking for closure, balance, and readiness. At this age, the world may not listen to you as much. People may stop asking for your opinion. But the truth is, you are closest to the wisdom the world needs, and the early morning awakenings are a reminder that your time is sacred, that your presence matters, that your legacy is still being written, not by the world, but by the choices you make in these quiet hours. If you're awake at 2 or 3 a.m., it's because you still have something to give, a blessing to pass on, a prayer to whisper, a story to share, a lesson to teach, a soul to nurture, perhaps your own. Don't treat these hours as restlessness. Treat them as a call, a sacred message from the divine that your life is entering its most meaningful chapter. Use that time to breathe deeply, to forgive, to love, and to prepare, not for the end, but for the peace that comes with completion. You are not alone in the night. You are aligned with something greater than yourself. Closing message. If this video brought you comfort, insight, or reflection, then don't leave without subscribing to our channel, Faith Wisdom.